And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hola, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hippies and straights around the world. Welcome to the Worldwide Hippies Community Journalist Exchange Electronic Soapbox. It's your old buddy Dr. J down in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with today's installment, Unclean, Unclean. The Gospels and lots of other sources acknowledge the poor are always with us, and it's true, never no more so than a zero-sum economy such as the one in which we struggle today to survive. Not only are they always with us, but they are increasingly, it seems, greatly also hated. One detects lots of consternation about this particular phenomenon. Why? Why, cry the liberals and the socially conscious, why do we hate the poor? Well, it's not really all that difficult, I think. Think of leprosy, maybe. Back in the days of yore, nobody knew why someone contracted the condition, in which parts of the victim became all too obviously diseased and then subsequently just sort of fell off. However much or little it was understood, the people at the time blamed the victim for his or her condition. But nobody really, other than saints and martyrs, wanted anything to do with the lepers. Unclean, unclean, stay away, stay away. Well, kind of like leprosy 1,000 years ago in the Levant or anyplace else really in Europe, being poor is about the worst thing that can happen to you in America. Like lepers, the poor often have no control over what happened to them, no way to fix it, and nobody's willing, able, or wanting much to help. This ain't no country for poor folk, folks. Americans detest the poor the same way that the people of yore detested and fled from lepers in an earlier day. It might be contagious. Stay away, stay away. You don't really want to get any of that on you, you know. Poor people mostly stay poor unless they luck out, really, on some lottery or athletic accomplishment or something. That's part of capitalism, of course. Along with structural unemployment, there's structural poverty. Gotta have it. It's absolutely necessary. And that's not an accident. Capitalism requires a compliant workforce. Workers with disemployment and poverty staring them over the shoulders are a lot less likely to stray into unions and other solidarity operations. And on top of that, of course, there's the owners and the oligarchs have directed their pet corporate media to make sure that the American people blame the poor for their own poverty. They have succeeded beyond their wildest imaginings, too. You've heard the drill. You know it by heart by now, I'm sure. The poor are to blame for their own situations, like the lepers of yore. They're just lazy, or they fornicate, or they take drugs, or they're just naturally inferior in motivation and other good American social virtues. Or as some gurus would have it, maybe they didn't draw the good juju to them. Instead, they complained, and that bad juju got to them. But in any case, it was in fact their own fault. Weren't nothing the system could have done about it, nohow, Clem. You've heard the same message over and over thousands and thousands of times from just about every imaginable source. Popular entertainments, advertisements, dramas, preachers, teachers, politicians, business leaders of every stripe. They had their choices, they just made bad ones. It's the underlying theme, actually, of the whole literature of self-help and so-called positive thinking scams, you know. If you're not successful, it is your own fault. I want to remind you, hippies, the wealthy make choices. They choose escargot or foie de gras or the Benz or the Porsche. The poor make decisions. The rent or the food, utilities or meds. There is a difference, and it's not just semantic. I plan we could discuss it when later I see you at the beach. Pause shares.